Colin Klein, the offensive coordinator at Texas A&M, is going to be taking his talents back home to Kansas State. Joe, what are your thoughts of A&M's coordinator going back home to Kansas State?
Dude, this is a home run. We talked about how if there was a coordinator that would get hired as a head coach at some of these big programs, you said you'd go after Colin Klein for LSU if they went down their list and they couldn't find somebody that was a perfect fit for them. I think that Colin Klein has shown that he has what it takes to be a great coach in this sport. And I love this for Kansas State because Klieman's been a solid coach for you in the history of the sport. He's been a tremendous coach, 4 national championships at North Dakota State. To be able to have somebody who represents your brand, was one of the best players in the history of your program, to now take over, who is one of the best offensive minds in the sport, that is so huge. You can't come by. And in an era right now where we're seeing Brent Key stay at Georgia Tech, Kalani Sitake stay at BYU, Clark Lee stay at Vanderbilt, I think that we're entering into a very interesting pocket of college football where there are these guys that want to represent their institutions. They want to stick around and represent their brands. They want to be able to be a part of the growth of a school that developed them as young men, and now they want to be able to give back to them. It's a really interesting, we've never really seen this in the sport. This many guys that were former players that have the chance to turn their teams into consistent winners.
I think he's one of the best play callers in the sport.
Yeah.
He goes home and he tries to dominate, and he's going to try to dominate what he just replicated. He went to the premier stage, probably not knowing when Klieman's going to leave. Hey, man, I got to go weigh my options. I got to go show them in the SEC that I can do this to take over when you're gone. And he did that. He's a big part of what led him to the playoff. If anybody knows Kansas State, it's going to be him. And I got to be real with you. It's probably the best hire that – how do I want to say this? I think it's the best hire because of where Kansas State can and potentially go. Now, here's what I worry about for Klein. Just because it's your alma mater doesn't mean that you got to go back there. It doesn't mean that. Okay, like if you're from an area, it doesn't mean that you have to go back there. I think that if he would have stayed and given another year, he could have gotten one of these bigger jobs. Because here's what I keep saying about these programs and these teams. The Big 12 is changing right in front of our eyes. The CEO of Crumble Cookie, which, by the way, we got to talk about James Franklin at some point about the Crumble Cookie diss.
He shut it. He said that they always ordered crumble cookies every year.
That is a lie. That is a lie. That is a lie.
I'm just passing that along. I saw it on Twitter.
You know it's a lie, and I know it's a lie. It's a lie.
Okay.
Come on, Joe. Come on. No, they don't. No, they don't. You look at a situation and say, listen, I worry about teams in the Big 12 and what they're doing, like BYU and Crumble Cookie, Texas Tech going into Georgia and beating Georgia for the top recruit. Are you going to back him? Are you going to back him? Are you going to put the funds necessary to do it? And that's the bottom line. Because the Big 12, hot take, the Big 12 is doing more and showing that they have and can do more than the ACC right now.
Shit. That's a very good point.
Am I lying? Am I lying? No. I mean, like, you got big money. You got Mormon cookie money coming out of nowhere for Kalani Sitake and saying, you want an extension and you want $25 million in NIL? Do you want ones, fives, 10s, 50s, or 100s? And they had enough. People are starting to invest at a high level. This is what I say about Klein. You better have gotten that answer known and known now. Because if you don't, Joe, and you look past all of this, well, I mean, it's just the Big 12 is doing more literally in recruiting than collectively than what we anticipated that they do. Premier NFL athletes are going to these institutions. Look at Texas Tech today.
Right. We didn't even get to Texas Tech. I mean, they put together a ridiculous, class of guys and all these 5 stars with Ojo and Guyton. Like, you are in this very interesting position now that what the Big 12 is doing. I think that this is tremendous, though, for Kansas State. And I kind of understand what your angle was on. If he stuck around, he probably would have been in the mix for some top jobs. I don't think there's anything wrong, though, with him going to Kansas State, spending a bit of time there, and then jumping to the next big job. Like, I think that if he proves himself as a head coach in 4 or 5 years, he's going to be in the mix either way. Just depending on what he valued more. And it seems like he values being able to represent K-State.
I hope they invest in him.
I
hope
too.
they invest in him. Before we move on here, because we got to get to one thing before we close out. I got to talk about James Franklin in this crumble cookie thing. We got to do it.
Okay, bring it up.
No, first off, what is Penn State doing? We're going to keep talking about it, and we're not really diving into Penn State, me and you, at a high level until they make a hire here.
Yeah.
James Franklin roasting them on the open market I'm starting to fall in love with James Franklin. I never thought I'd say that. I am in love. Like, even if he goes in Virginia Tech and loses, I'm just like, hey, man, like, James is one of the dudes, bro. He's being petty. Don't you dare tell me that they always do crumble cookie. Don't you
That's
dare.
what he said. That is what he said. So I'm taking his word for
There's
it.
only one
but
crumble cookie in Virginia. You went
I agree with
half to get crumble cookie.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
I mean, I'm just basing what I read off of Twitter. You mean to tell me that he sent somebody on a 3-hour car ride to get crumble cookie?
Well, wait, but what
It
if?
might not even be true, but that's what I saw on Twitter.
Well, yeah, but what if it is that important to them that the crumble cookie thing is the way that they celebrate there, and we just don't know?
You're paying a guy millions of dollars, and he made somebody drive for 3 hours for crumble cookies for a recruiting class. Get out of town. This man's trolling.
If he was or he wasn't, today was a massive accomplishment.
Play with me that he's trolling. Please play along in the.
I didn't dig enough into this because what I saw was him making a statement that it wasn't a troll job. So I'm going off of that.
James Franklin from the top rope. I'm a Hokies fan. Give me all the James Franklin hype. James Franklin hype. This is so great.
He was perfect for Virginia Tech. We didn't like him at Penn State. He's perfect for Virginia Tech. I've got rooting interest in Virginia Tech. My brother and his fiance went there. I visited him a ton of times. I love Virginia Tech. I'm going to root for him, dude. I'm straight up going to root for him. I think that they're a really fun brand, and I think that listening to him today during his one of his interviews that he did, I think that he is setting this program up for serious success. And if it is petty or not, we'll find out.
Gonna find out. All right, we're out of here.
Joe, we got two quick super chats.
Super chats. Okay.